Do you remember the HMNZ Manawanui?
Manawanui,
which is now our first deployed submarine.
Our first deployed submarine.
Oh, yes, I remember this. The HMNZ Misogynist.
Yeah, so that guy there talking about our first deployed submarine was actually the former New Zealand Minister of Defence.
The former?
Yeah, so remember Janice, Judith, Joyce? We couldn't decide what her name was. Something with a J. She was the current Minister of Defence. I think she's just retired.
Is she the one that said this was a success?
Well, she said it was a triumph.
That is actually something of a triumph, frankly.
It was a triumph because nobody died and also stopped being a misogynistic dicklord. So if you don't recall, these were the totally legitimate headlines at the time. Breaking! Navy ship commander panics at thought of handling large hard object full of semen. Breaking! Friend of Dorothy, New Zealander captain, says, I don't know what went wrong. The ship handles nothing like a Subaru Forester. Breaking! New Zealander crew stunned just minutes before sinking as lesbian captain announces all hands on dick. So, there's been an update to this story. I've been waiting for this.
What could the update possibly be?
She sank another ship.
Get out. I was just about to say that.
No, she's facing prison time.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's facing prison time because it was totally her fucking fault.
Right, is this the patriarchy at work?
The patriarchy are sending her to prison, basically, yeah. And I'm fucking here for it. Let's have a look. Let's go!
Manawanui crashed into a reef by a little octopus, a friend of Dorothy. New Zealand's navy is so lame, so spastic, lame and gay. Manawanui crashed into a reef.
So just to go back to Judith Collins, or Janice, whatever, the ex-defence minister, remember at the time, she was defending this lesbian sea captain so fucking hard.
Lesbian sea captain.
Yeah. She came out and basically said, look, chicks rule and you can't fucking say anything about it.
I'm appalled to see the comments online because, you know, New Zealanders are better than this. The deeply concerning misogynistic narrative, the one thing that we already know did not cause it is the gender of the ship's captain. I am New Zealand's first female defence minister. The army has its first female chief of army, Major General Rose King. Manawanui's captain, Commander Yvonne Gray, is female.
So everyone's female and that's awesome. There was like a female drive in the New Zealand like establishment, in the army, in the military, in the government, etc.
Yeah, it really strikes fear into the heart of your enemy. Wasn't there some old rule that said if you had a chick on a boat that the boat was doomed?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's an old myth. I think it's just common sense. I mean, look at this photo. This is New Zealand's, at the time, 4 female sea captains. This one crashed a ship. This one crashed a ship. 2 out of 4 crashed their fucking ships. A 50% strike rate is fucked.
Oh my God. How much are these ships costing?
Well, I think the Manawanui was like fucking $170 million or something like that.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, that was a success in your experiment to break the glass ceiling.
So Janice Collins was getting real fucking stinky about people being misogynistic online. She really didn't take too kindly to it. But yeah, there's been an inquiry and there's like a court-martial thing happening and this chick, this fucking captain, faces prison time.
3 naval officers, including the commander, could face jail time over the loss of HMNZS Manawanui off Samoa's coast in 2024. Commander Yvonne Gray, Lieutenant Commander Matthew Gaijago, and a 3rd unnamed officer.
You know this is a chick sea captain, right? Just by that fucking chart, by that route.
It's gone up and back and around.
That looks like you in the Target homewares section.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay.
What's
maybe
this?
it does.
What's this? Oh my God. I'm just going to go look at that one again.
All right, maybe. Okay. All right. I'll hand it to you.
I think it was a survey ship, to be fair. So they're probably like mapping the fucking seafloor.
Although I do find this rich coming from the man who asks me where we're going every fucking 5 seconds in the car.
That's not a sense of direction thing. That's a I can't be fucked using my brain thing.
No. That's a sense of direction and I can't be fucked using my brain thing. You can't dig your way out of this. You don't even know which direction to dig.
I just don't want to end up going around in fucking circles like you in the Target homeware section.
Face charges under the Armed Forces Discipline Act. The charging documents allege the watch officer at the time failed to disengage autopilot in time to prevent grounding. Victoria University's Centre for Strategic Studies Senior Fellow Jim Rolfe says all the charges relate to negligence.
That is actually something of a triumph, frankly.
It's a triumph.
Oh, it was a triumph.
It was a successful sea mapping crash.
Yeah, on the plus side, apparently the Samoans, right, are like, this is really cool because there's like a dive site now.
Oh, right.
So people are like doing tourist stuff. They're coming to like scuba dive and have a look at the ship. It was a complete triumph because nobody died.
Nobody is happy about this. This is not at all a good result. But as I've said, at least nobody died. Complaining about it's not going to make it better. The main thing is, at least nobody died. We get on, we sort out all of the lessons from this. We don't allow this to happen again. You're just, I think, as shocked as we all are, but at least nobody died. I don't think anyone can fault Navy standing up and saying, this is what happened, and we own it, we're going to fix it as much as we can. At least nobody died. 70-odd people could have been dead, but at least nobody died. One thing worked, and that was at least nobody died. Getting people off the ship at the right time. If they'd waited much longer with that list, I don't think we'd be having this conversation. At least nobody died.
You edited the shit out
of course
of
I
that,
did.
dude.
Of course
That's
I did.
awesome.
That was from our last video. I think I mentioned at the time, right? I find it fucking ridiculous to stand there and say, wow, this chick did such an amazing job because she had the sense to get off a burning, sinking ship.
Yeah, her instincts kicked in, Bearing.
I mean, for fuck's sake, isn't that like survival instinct 101?
Ooh, that's hot.
That's hot and wet. I fear I might burn to death and simultaneously drown. So anyway, I saw a good article on this whole fiasco by The Noticer.
The Noticer.
The Noticer.
Okay, I haven't noticed the Noticer before. Who's
Well,
that?
I've heard people say that The Noticer are bad guys.
Oh, it's a collective. It's not one guy.
Well, it's a fucking, like a news outlet.
Okay.
So I googled what are the political leanings of The Noticer. And it says it's an Australian digital news outlet characterised by experts as a far-right platform that promotes white nationalists, anti-immigrant and at times neo-snazzy ideologies. It positions itself as a right-wing news source that operates without political correctness and attempts to counter what it perceives as mainstream left-wing media bias. Kind regards, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
I was just about to say, who said that?
Yeah. So they're basically saying, look, the Noticer are Adolf Hitler.
Well, they're experts, Bearing.
Yeah, they're experts.
We're his experts.
It goes on to say, while the site claims to be a factual news site that exists to counter left-wing bias, it has been shared by conservative and far-right figures, including Senator Ralph Babbitt, former Liberal MP Craig Kelly, and members of the One Nation Party.
Oh, that's damning.
So they're saying, look, they claim to be like legit, but, you know, they're being shared by One Nation. How does that make them not legit? How does that make them not factual just because you don't like fucking Pauline Hanson? But just on that tangent, have you fucking seen the polls lately in Victoria?
Oh, yes, I have.
Whoa!
Whoa!
So One Nation, the snazzies, according to the ABC, are at 26% on the voting intention poll by Roy Morgan. That's legit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're beating the fucking Labor Party and the Liberal Party, which for Victoria is just like, whoa, oh my God. When I was in Victoria recently, one of my mates, I won't mention his name, we were talking about politics, right? And this is a very Victorian mindset, right? So we were talking about politics and he goes, yeah, the fucking Labor Party, the people in power fucking stink, right? We can't stand them. We fucking hate the Labor Party. And he sort of says, like, kind of under his breath, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've kind of sort of been thinking about, you know, what if like One Nation was a fucking positive? I'm like, motherfucker, I vote One Nation all the fucking time. I'm a Queenslander. There's nothing to be ashamed of about that.
Yeah, they sort of speak under their breath like the Gestapo is listening.
Yeah. But Albanese's fucking shitting bricks too.
There's now a test for Angus Taylor and David Littleproud. Will they put One Nation last on their how to vote cards? That's the question that they have to come up with, because One Nation are surging at the expense of the coalition. They can't just be One Nation light coming up with similar policies to One Nation. They need to be responsible going forward.
So he's trying to shame his main opposition into putting one nation last on their preferences. He's shitting bricks.
The enemy of my enemy.
But anyway, back to the Noticer, because the Noticer put out a good article on this whole fiasco.
Yeah, the whole point of this video.
Yeah. Lesbian DEI hire captain charged over sinking $100 million Navy ship.
Arr, scissor me timbers.
The lesbian diversity hire captain of a Royal New Zealand Navy ship that ran aground and sank off Samoa has been charged with negligence along with 2 other officers over the loss of the vessel. The $100 million Manawanui, which was under the command of UK-born homosexual Yvonne Gray, crashed on October 5, 2024 due to human errors including failure to turn off the autopilot. They left it on cruise control. It's as simple as that. They fucking left it on cruise control. I remember discussing at the time, surely there's a fail. Like if we tap the brakes in our car, cruise control gets turned off. Surely if they try to steer the ship away from a fucking reef, the cruise control is going to be deactivated. Can't you get someone to rig that up? After the sinking of the ship, which was just one of 9 in the New Zealand Navy, Commander Gray was given blanket positive corporate media coverage for getting all 75 personnel on board off alive. And Defence Minister Judith Collins called the evacuation a triumph and criticism of the captain misogynistic. But her position as captain then came into question after it was revealed that she had been promoted amid a push for diversity and inclusion. Many New Zealanders asked why she was given command of a ship ahead of local candidates.
Because inclusion. We need to recruit more retarded lesbians who can't drive. Or what is it? Pilot.
Sail?
Sail?
I don't know. Well, it's not really sailing, is it? Pilot, I don't know. Whatever. Captain. They can't captain.
Captaining.
Commander Gray, Lieutenant Commander someone, and a 3rd officer will now face court-martial over the disaster, which was the Navy's first ship loss since World War II. And resulted in New Zealand paying Samoa $6 million in compensation.
That's not a good look, is it?
No. I found this part interesting. Todd Simmons, KC for the commander, said that his client had endured a lot of unjustified criticism. Unjustified. And welcomed the opportunity to respond to the charges. What the fuck are you how are they unjustified?
I don't know.
She sank a fucking ship.
I think the angle he's trying to go with, she suffered enough.
Yeah, probably. And it compounds because she's a lesbian. Commander Gray, who moved to New Zealand with her wife in 2012, was lauded in a June 2023 New Zealand Department of Defence press release, celebrating her and 3 other female commanders, in which one gushed about a culture change in the Navy due to a focus on diversity, equity, and respect for personnel.
Lesbian commanders. I am the clit commander.
Another of the female captains praised alongside Miss Gray, Fiona Jamieson, crashed her own ship in May 2024. Amazing. I want to see her locked up because it would be funny. And I'm so disappointed that fucking Janice is no longer here because I want to see her eat crow.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fucking triumph, Jan.
That is actually something of a triumph, frankly.
Visit SugarTits, she has a channel.
Yes, I do.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
See ya.